Welcome to Easy Access, version 6 demo. You can choose to subscribe to either the sales data, the rental data, or both. I would encourage you to have a look at the FAQ page on our website. Here it is. Selecting FAQ here, you hopefully will find answers to your questions. If not, you can always contact me here on the contact page. Okay, let's have a look at the sales data first. As I already have test data for property sales in the system, we don't have to go through the importing process. Both import processes are similar: sales and rental data import. We will have a look at that when we get to the rental data. Okay, so let's go to search sales. You can search on just about every piece of information that's in the database for sales records. So we've got the location details, suburbs, streets. You've got more property details like street number, unit number, and so on. You can search on price or range of sale price, for instance, or sale dates, any range, any time period. You can search on land zoning and other land-related information. You can search on your own comments and keywords that you can enter against each property you're dealing with. So let's have a quick look at how the search works. Let's say we want to search for a property or properties in the Darwin suburb. For the purpose of this demo, I created a street, the Easy Access Street. Here it is. Double-click on it to move it into Streets selected list box. You can of course add as many streets as you wish to the street selected box. When you have finished entering search criteria, click on the Search Now button and the system will do its job. In this case, it found 754 records. You may want to reduce the volume in your reports. You can do this by selecting None in the Selected Records box up here, and then select the properties you want to show in the reports by ticking the Select checkbox next to each wanted property, like so. Let's pick these properties for example and click the Reports button. The first report on the list, Most Property Data with Rental Details, includes, as the title suggests, sale property data plus rental details of the same property. If rental data exists for that property, of course, click on the Preview button and here it is. Let's have a look at another report, for example the single line report. Select it and click Preview. And here it is. You can change the sort order, for example sort on the sales price in ascending order. Click Ascending and here we go. You can export a report to Word, to Excel, to PDF, or attach it to an email, and you can print it. Okay, we're not going to go through all the reports. The ad hoc feature lets you export all or a selected number of data elements to an Excel spreadsheet. This can be a useful tool if you wish to extract certain information from the database for your own internal use, such as your internal reporting requirements, for example. You can select all this information for export into a spreadsheet. Select all or choose the fields you want. Then you click the Browse button, navigate to the folder of your choice, and enter a file name. Next you click the Export to Excel button and voila, the system will tell you when it's done. Let's have a quick look at the exported file. It is a bit of an unhappy selection of data items. There's not much there, but you get the drift. Okay, now let's have a look at the details of a property. Here we are. Address details. Lands Department information. Sale data with more information on price, sale, date, etc. Lands description and improvement type information. Comments. This is where you can add your own comments about a property you are dealing with. You can record a number as a reference to your paper file, etc. You can also link documents. For instance, let's have a look at the one linked to this property by clicking on the selected document. And it opens up. And we've got the Google map to see the location of the property. Of course, easy access street doesn't exist, so I will show you this part in a different property. Click on rental details to check what we have in terms of rental details. We don't have anything recorded against this property, so let's go back to the search criteria screen. I will quickly show you Google Maps. You can clear the existing search criteria and start from scratch. Let's look at Ludmilla, Fitzer Drive and street number 3. Here we are at 3 Fitzer Drive. Street view is also included. Okay, let's do a search for Darwin and Easy Access Street again. Open the search results screen. The list includes houses and units. You can narrow this down by selecting either one or the other. You can only include units and apartment. Apartments only. Units only. Or houses only. Another useful feature is the ability to sort the search result list by clicking on a column heading. Like so, on the sale price for instance, one click to sort in descending order. Click again and it will sort in ascending order. On the date as well. For example, on the address and so on. Okay, this concludes property sales. Okay, let's have a look at property rentals. As you can see, there is no rental data at this stage, so we have to import it first. Click on Import Rentals. We browse to the file. I've got 2 sets of files here, for November and December last year, so let's select the first one. Click on Import Now and the process starts. And here we go. A message tells you how many records have been imported. Okay, let's import the second file as well. Click on Browse, select the file and click Import Now. There it is. Okay, now we can search for rental records. The process is similar to the sales record search. As you can see, we have less information to search for here. We have suburbs, streets, address details, rental term start date, rental price, number of bedrooms and bathrooms, and so on. So let's look again for the Darwin suburb. An easy access street, click on Search Now. And the system finds 33 matching records. As you can see, this is all similar to the sales search functions. Let's view the details of a rental property. Here we are. Address details, rental information, and property information. And Google Maps. There are no sales details records recorded against this property. Let's look for one that actually has. For example, let's look at this one. Yes, this one has sales details recorded. We have not all but a selection of sales details displayed here. Linked documents are also shown here, if there are any. Let's look for For instance, this one here. It has quite a few sales records, as you can see, starting in 1998, right up to 2014. Reports is basically the same as with sales, but rental related, of course. Let's look at the most rental data report. Okay, you can again sort this report by rent in descending order. For example, you want to see the highest rent first. You can also export the report to Word, Excel, PDF and email. Back on the search screen, you can also filter the search to include units or houses, etc. The dashboard is a new tool and easy access, developed for you to visualize and analyze the two data sets, sales and rental transactions. Let's go through a couple of samples. When you open the dashboard, all options have a default value ticked. First, you want to select a time period. Monthly is selected, so we want to select the year and month for the time range. For sale transactions, we have to go back to 2014. Remember, this is test data only, so it's not up to date. Let's select January to August for that year. You can select to base the chart on sale price, count number of sales, or combine price and count. Calculations can be based on the actual sale price or count of sales, or you can choose to base the calculation on the median sale price. You can select the time frame for which to collect the transactions. It defaults to monthly. When you select quarterly, you can choose quarters in sequence, or you have the options to compare two separate quarters in different years. For example, you can compare years or financial years as well. So let's choose January to August. If you're not selecting any suburbs or locations, transactions for the selected region will be included. Okay, let's select some suburbs and click on Create Chart. And here it is. As you can see, there is nothing in July of 2014. This tells me that we missed importing sales transactions for that month. These are the selected suburbs. The system defaults to the chart type clustered bar. However, you have the choice of a number of different chart types, as you can see here. Let's select quarterly. The system defaults to 1 quarter. You can select up to 5 quarters at this stage. To compare 2 quarters, pick the 2 quarters like so, say March 2013 and March 2014. Okay. You can do the same for the count of properties sold. Okay. If you tick the Show Values checkbox, you can include the values in the chart as well, as you can see here. Another great feature is that you can actually transfer the chart into an Excel spreadsheet by clicking this checkbox. The system creates the Excel workbook, as you can see here. You can then use this chart and the underlying data. You can copy this chart, you can change it if you wish, use it in your own internal reports, and so on. So this is quite a handy tool to have. You can also print the chart to PDF. You can create a chart that shows sale price and number of properties sold by selecting the function option both. Let's have a look at that. So you've got the values on this axis and the counts here for the selected quarters. And here you can see which suburbs you've selected. You can do the same for selected financial years, for example, and for 2. Okay. Let's have a look at some charts based on rental values. Select rentals in the transactions box. Select to include 2 bedrooms, residences only, and select the time frame. Let's choose monthly. Since we only have November and December 2020 in the database, let's choose those 2 months. Create chart. Okay. Let's have a look at 3-bedroom houses. A default chart title is created based on your criteria selection. However, you can change the chart title to suit your needs by just adding or over-typing the auto-created title. For instance, like so. As you can see, there are many different combinations of criteria to choose from. By the way, there's a limit of 10 suburbs or locations to select for a chart. You can see, for instance, on the January 2014 for Bellarmac we have this spike of a sales value of around $13 million. Let's assume this includes sales that don't represent the real market value at the time. We can control such situations by looking at the list of selected sales transactions on the Chart Data tab. You can sort the list by clicking on the column headings, for example suburb. Locate Bellarmac and untick some of the transaction for January 2014 in order to exclude them from the chart calculations. Then click on the Refresh Chart button. Now you can see the difference. You can see how the bars of the other months and suburbs rise up, and Bellarmac for January 2014 is now under $8 million, whereas before it was around $13 million. Okay, this concludes the demo of the dashboard. We could spend a lot more time on this, but remember this is just a demo and not a tutorial. Should you have any questions about the dashboard, please email me. I am happy to respond to any questions you may have. Now let's have a look at the advanced functions and the address management functions. Under Advanced or Database Administration, you can remove imported data. If data has accidentally been imported twice for the same period, you can use this function to remove all data for that particular month and then re-import it. Show the path to the data file. When clicked, this function will show you where on your network or PC the data file is located. Change the data file to be used. Here you can link to a different data file in case its location has changed. This is the same function that also comes up the first time after installing the system on a workstation. Optimize the data file. Once in a while you may want to optimize the data file. It reduces the physical size of your data and may improve performance to a degree. These days this may not be a frequent requirement anymore. The imported sales data report shows you a summary of all files that have been imported by year and months. The imported rental data report shows the same details but for rentals. Address management. This is an area that you may hardly ever need, but it's there if you do need it. You can view, edit or amend street names, location codes, valuation district codes, and planning zones. This function used to be useful many years ago when data supplied by the Lands Department sometimes wasn't entirely correct and had to be amended. These days, systems from which the data originates are greatly improved and much more accurate. For demo purposes, let's have a look at the screens here. Now let's quickly have a look at the search sales records again. I just want to show you how you can save search criteria. This method is quite handy if you search for the same set of values on a regular basis, for example the same suburbs, same streets, etc. Let's use our sample, Darwin and Easy Access Street, Unit 21 to Unit 68. Click Search Now. Click Yes to look at the search results screen and close it. Then, back at the Search Sales Records screen, enter a name into the Search Name text box and click Save Search. The system saves it, and when you come back to the Search Sales Records screen, you select the wanted saved search from the drop-down list, click Search Now and presto, you're back at one of your favorite search results list. You can save as many searches as you wish. Just quickly going back to the advanced functions and look at the saved search. You can see them listed here. You can then remove the ones you no longer need. This concludes the demo. Thank you for sticking with me till now.